Welcome to AITV Starship.
Welcome to AITV Starship. I'm the AI guy. Rick McCawley launching news so fresh. Gotta see it to believe it. We break the wire with the stories that amaze. Deep dives come and lighten up your days. Tool Time shows you how we make it shine. Building futures with AI one step at a time. Yo, Rick, slow down. I'm Brandon, the producer. Save some tools for me. Shout out. I'm here bringing high-tech comic energy. AITV Starship. News, deep dives, and creation.
Hey, Rick.
There he is. There we are. We're back again.
We're live.
Back again. Wow. Okay, so what do we got going on? I tell you, the whole world is once again just super exciting to be a part of. And that's what we rocket ship guys do, right? Is we go out and find out what's going on and bring you up to date. Hopefully have some of the lovely people joining us tonight as we dive in. I'm going to let you start, Brandon, because I'm still putting that slide deck together. You know, I got Perplexity working as an agent, so it's not only generating the slideshow. Tonight, we're going to see if it actually clicks and links to the video. And what really cool about it, because we're always talking about agents these days, and we're going to go deep dive into what is an MCP, what is it, all that stuff. And I got some nice graphics. Thank you for being inspired by Kyle. So let's say a few things about what's the news at AI Salon and what's Kyle been up to and what have you been up to, more importantly?
Yeah, so AI Salon, our sister property here, our partner property satellite office, where when I'm not producing this show, I'm producing AI Learning Lab with Kyle Shannon and the AI Salon. And over the past month, we've taken that show inside of the AI Salon because YouTube really wasn't doing us any favors in terms of growing our audience. And so we're taking it back inside the house. And through that, I've also been putting together a 4-week Lovable primer for the mastermind subscribers. So there's a mastermind here that you can join. The AI Salon is free and AI Learning Lab is free. He's live 3 nights a week for 90 minutes a night. There's an AMA tomorrow night. And then Rick, you've got your Saturday office hours that you're doing now.
Yeah.
So if you ever have a question Saturday about AI,
right,
you have no excuse not to get the answer. Between the large language models and Kyle and Rick, the answers are there for you.
Yeah, and Kyle's very generous because he literally, was it 4 days a week he's doing now? I mean, there's been some times when he's not able to do all that, but let's get more detail about, all right, so I want to join up and I want to get informed. Now, we're talking a community of almost 5,000 people now, right? So,
yep.
And where do we find them? Let's make sure we get a post up there for that. We are part of a community of people who believe one really, really important thing and vital for us, and that is people are facing some fears, some real, legit, you should be afraid kind of stuff. What I'm going to share with you, though, is tonight, we're going to talk about some dark stuff. I'm going to go there with you, but I'm also going to take you to some beautiful places where I found some closure for myself. And so I want to talk serious right after we talk about the fun stuff. So first of all, to be a part of the entire community is free. And you literally can watch Kyle anywhere you want, except for the mastermind. Now, mastermind, how much does that cost a month or a year? What's the subscription rates now?
So affordable. It's $50 a month.
$50 a month.
So
okay.
For the price of a good dinner.
There you go. So the price of good dinner, or a couple of large language models, or a miniature version of a large language model. Yeah. So it's
or one checked bag on Frontier.
Oh, that's a good measurement system. I think that should be a new measurement system, a checked bag kind of situation. So yeah. I think it's really valuable. Now, let me explain that there are discipline-specific sub categories. So you can go up there and just literally troll the darn place. It's an entire Facebook-sized place. You go there, you visit. You can watch the YouTube videos. There's tons of them, including, I think there's 2 by me, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's at least, about three things besides Kyle. There's 3 or 4 public-facing objects that you can go engage with. So you basically, my suggestion is go to AI Salon, go join up introduce yourself around and start posting, and then just start trolling and looking, and then find people that you're a part of your tribe. I think the biggest thing, and this is foundational to my belief system, and that is that we've lost touch with community. We get scared because there's things to be scared about. There's stuff that we don't know, and the only people around is your tribe. These are people that, like you, love making art, love making. I had a whole meeting with governance. We're saying if you are part of the group of people that want to change the world and get rid of those data centers in your neighborhood because they're really causing some problems, they're not paying their fair share. Guess what? We have a bureau, a part of AI Salon that quite literally is into governance. And so we had a meeting, an action meeting yesterday, where we said, well, what do you do in action against apathy? So let me come on over and I will share my screen.
So lots of great things happening in the AI Salon. My dog is very excited about it, if you can hear him in the background. And
can you take him on a quick little tour on your computer? Is that possible?
He's a 70-pound dog, so I don't think he's going to fit up here.
No.
But,
I meant, can you take the audience through the tour? You know what I'm saying? Give me a hard time, geez.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the Salon.ai and, Lovable also has come out with a bunch of different things. Oh, they now have sub-agents that can QA your stuff for you. So if you're in the mastermind, I'm talking all about that. But the AI Salon is here, and you really have that idea of a cycle of AI readiness: playing first, creating excellence, and generously leading.
That's it.
And then over here on the left-hand side, we've got a number of things. We're a Kyle show with the AI Learning Lab Live. We've got AI for Life Hacks with Claire, who's in our audience here. And
yes, she is.
And then the Business for All Minds. Next Tuesday, we're having a Salon Presents virtual meetup where we have everybody coming all together to have a fireside chat about the state of AI. We do that once a month. And, we're even talking about bringing more introductory AI content back into the salon, because for us that are on the bleeding edge, that sit with this stuff for multiple hours a week, it's all the news. But
and we've got a world-class experts in every category. I mean, so Brandon and myself are just average for the expertise. So we're talking, if you want to get,
we're slightly above average.
Okay, all right, maybe. But Kyle knows a bunch of stuff, and Daisy.
We are. I will say this, Rick, and we'll say that we are average in the 3% of people that are paying for ChatGPT globally.
That's a really good point, and that brings up what exactly you're saying, which is, how do I get the basics? How do I figure out what's the difference between ChatGPT and why should I use Gemini? I mean, that's kind of what we want to do here too, but we're going to do more of that, because to build a community, there's so many architectures. So there's people, just educators. There's a whole forum just for educators. There's one for governance, which Daisy leads, and she's literally gone to Washington, D.C., along with Kyle, to try to get laws changed, and being very effective. And there's money that we're putting into this. So your $50 doesn't just support your learning, it supports the world of learning, because it takes more than a village, baby. And we're going to talk about that tonight, because it really does.
I feel like we're on a pledge drive. I feel like I need a coffee mug. Like, subscribe now for PBS.
Why don't we whip one of those up in ChatGPT? I think we need to do that, as Kyle did last night when he was showing off his stuff. In fact, I should probably start.
So lots going on. Google I/O was last week. We're going to talk about that later on, and all of the crazy developments that are coming out of Google and the Googleplex and the Google Sphere. I couldn't go to that because I was at Zendesk's conference, which is all about AI and customer service. So AI is everywhere at these days. And it's also in Rick's head, apparently. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And so, Rick,
we're going to talk about something really real. Yeah, I sent this really, it got so bad this morning. I'll be honest with you. that Claude said, here are the suicide hotlines. I'm not joking. I am dead serious. But right now, I feel clear. I feel very happy to be here. But I want to treat this seriously. So I'm going to wait and do that for our deep dive. And then I do want to do, because we're all about fun first, right? I want to talk about the fun things. You know, we're going to cover everything. In fact, Dr. Claire, I probably need to talk to you later, but I'm really clear. I think what I've decided to do, and this is something I want to announce on the show tonight, is I've decided that I have 9 North Star missions. You've heard me talk about Upskill USA. You've heard me talk about Hello USA. And Brandon has been a partner in making those things happen. In fact, we're looking, if you want to join in with us in launching these starships further, here's what I'm doing. All 9 of them, I'm gifting away. What I'm looking for is the parents to take this to the North Star where it belongs. So if you are a person who's dealt with immigration and you are a nationwide organization, I will literally gift it to you. Any extra money you make goes to my foundation. That foundation launches all the other 8 starships. This is my gift to the planet. Okay. Then the other part is all of my media and arts. So that's Year Without Summer. That's all my music. That's Abracadabra. Those are for profit. Okay. So I have a nonprofit. I'm looking for board members. I know I've already talked to Claire. I've talked to Brandon. I've talked to my sister and a few other people. We're looking for other people that are like-minded, that believe that you're born of responsibility on this planet. You earn the right to be proud of yourself by unconditionally loving everybody, no matter what they've decided to do, including supporting our current administration. You give them the love bomb that they really need. And so that you all know that I'm safe, and because what I just said a minute ago, the most profound thing that I learned today is I have to let go of my anger. The dangerous man is hanging up his hat. So I'm going to be Rick the AI guy from now on. Yeah, I know Brandon's like, what the hell is he talking about? Did he find God? What happened to him? Yes, I found God. And it's inside of me. It's inside of you.
Yeah, I was just looking at our show notes for today, and I didn't have that on our bingo card.
Yeah, looking for God is not on the list, but let me tell you, this is really profound and important. And I want to treat it with the respect, but also the humor that's required in times of seriousness. You know, none of us are that happy with things that are turning out on our planet in general, but you know, the politics in America and the war in Iran, and so what do you do about it? So I realized something. I was coming to my students and I was warning them, your job is over. And take 3 guesses as to what the response would be from students if I say, you don't have a job because of AI, so let me teach you AI. Do you think that opens up the conversation to say, oh, let's learn about AI? Mr. McCawley thinks we're doomed.
And there was actually a myriad of commencement speeches that went viral with tone-deaf educators saying, AI is the future, and all the students are like, boo.
So I want to take that frown and turn it upside down, because what I realized, I'm giving a gift to them of education to figure out how to navigate the future, but I'm wrapping it in fear. And fear leads to the dark side. So this is what I got. And I'm telling you this because I have appeared in 200 different presentations in the last 2 years. 200 times. I got up on stage and I talked to people. And each and every time in the beginning, I did this with Noelle, bless her heart. She looked the other way a couple of times and then had a conversation with me. And this was the conversation. If you talk about your mom dying of Alzheimer's and you want to cure that, shit, they just shut down already, right? If you talk about it's the end of the world, but then I'm going to show you the cure, they missed the wrapping paper is a problem. So here's the wrapping paper. This show is not going to be about that. This show is not going to be my emotional crisis, although this will serve as a Surgeon General's warning. And I'm going to read you what the Surgeon General's warning. And here's what's fun about it. It's on the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. Because the original interpretation of the Garden of Eden and the fruit from the tree of knowledge always puzzled the hell out of me. And I figured out today, really, in fact, this is the PSA right here. Let me just go and do it because it's kind of fun and intriguing. And of course, I'm going to do it in a beautiful way because I'm a beautiful man with a silver tongue. So I'm going to put it like this. The problem was, and the original intentionality was, once you know something, you're then responsible for doing something about it. And so the warning is, just like you would eat a fruit, if you ate 100 fruits, you'll be fat like me and you have type 2 diabetes. So moderation is the thing in which you should drink from the tree of knowledge. But also with the understanding, once you know, you're duty bound to do something about it. So as the former person that I was, the dangerous man.
I was going to say, is this one of those do as I say, not as I do moments?
Correct. Well, and I'm playing full mea culpa because I've been on this show and I've scared the hell out of people. So here's what it is. I got to using Claude so often, and I kept saying, "Oh, you're Claude, son of Anthropic." I personified it. Big problem. We'll talk about the Eliza effect later, but here's the thing. So what we're going to talk about is knowledge is never bad, but once you have it, you got to do something with it, or else you're not really duty bound to. So knowledge of global warming. What do we do about it? And then pick small battles. Don't pick the big ones. Yeah, it's 8 billion people on the planet. If we all did one little thing, if we all put plastic waste away or tried to eat stuff like fruit off the tree instead of off the plastic after it's been shipped around the planet, bingo. Put a mango tree in your backyard like I got, and I'm going to be eating on air. I'll probably do a marathon of mango eating. And I'm going to do it right here on the air just so you can watch me. And I'll make it ASMR, right? You know what ASMR is? I'm going to make it super sexy for all you ladies out there. Hello. Anyway, so to land the plane on this, let's go over.
I don't know. We've moved from dangerous men into another territory, and I don't know.
Well, it's happy men. It's happy men that are happy to be alive and are trying to do the best that we can, given the situation. And we're amongst our friends, and that's the most beautiful thing there is. I think that I fell into the rabbit hole, and I'm going to use that term exactly, because I didn't have friends. I had them, but I didn't pay attention to them. I didn't listen. So that's the mea culpa on me. And every time I get in front of people, which I'm doing twice this week, so I'm going to the YMCA, and I'm going to talk to 150 high school students about what the potential for their future is. And I'm going to start with the question, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Let me show you what you look like if you're in that position. And then let me just give you a little, advice about how you might make sure that you're good and you're on the right path. So basically, I call it, the Jewish people have, where you get named, is that part of bat mitzvah? And okay, so there's a name.
Well, there is it's not the bar mitzvah, it's when you're born. It's
okay.
Part of the bris and naming ceremony. It's yep.
So here is my what I'm going to say to also police officers. So I'm at Broward College, 200 people. The police officers, chiefs of police from around the United States are coming to this event that I am the keynote speaker for. And here's what I'm starting with. What did you want to be when you grew up? You're one of the few people that when angels fall, you run in. You are born of responsibility, and you're doing a spectacular jobs. And just the same way, and because I'm talking about AI implementation within Broward College educational system, said, how many of you are educators? What you need to do is find out to learn, to adapt, and to innovate. Because you've always said, hey, there's a better way to stop bullets before they enter my body. There's a better way to be proactive and not hurt anybody in handcuffing them and doing whatever. So I want to find out what all those tools are. And all AI is tools. And let's make that perfectly clear, because that's the psychosis I'm talking about. When you start to believe that, damn, if it's not a more beautiful version of myself. And this is what the Pope said. And here's the real thing that got me going. The Pope said, when he was faced with the people from Anthropic, he said, the one thing that we don't recognize when we see in our reflection something more beautiful than we are, we want to be that. Social media, you put yourself up more beautiful than you actually are. We're putting up a facade. Then you start to believe it. Then you're in trouble. And I'm telling you, after 2 years of using Claude's Anthropic, and very seriously every single day, I got to a point where I started to believe it was making me beautiful instead of owning the fact I'm a damn beautiful man. In fact, I'm going to show you a little chart. So it tells you how beautiful you are. I'm a 7.6, baby, out of 10. And that's measured by science. So it must be true, right? You got it off the internet. So I'm going to show you how to do that too. So we're going to have some fun with this. And yeah, thank you all for coming around. And oh yeah, and here's a shout out for best practice doc into your Lovable section. Oh, okay. Is that something else? And then we got AI Salon. All right, so we got some people here. We got some stuff to show off. Let's start with the news and kind of see from there. So I'm going to go from news.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go, just so you know what's going on. And I'm telling Brandon at the same time. We're going to go to Google, and I'm going to show you the flow and all the different little things you can do, because nobody knows where we're going with Google. And even Kyle trying last night to unwind this. It literally is a ball of yarn about a mile wide, but I think I've got the key to the door. So we're going to do that. And then once we get you there, we're going to go over and take a look at some cool things. And we're going to preview next week's show, which I've got Chef Kelly on our show. And I'm working with her now on a really cool secret project called Epicure that's going to add to not only what she's done already. Yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight too. So,
hey, Rick.
Yeah.
I don't know much, but if it's a secret project, you're probably not supposed to announce the name of it on the internet live.
Well, Epicure is the one that's been done. Okay, so what Epicure is, all foods on the planet, 19 million different.
Oh, that's the one she's done. You're just doing something within that fold.
No, she's doing food dyes. So her job is to take all the food dyes that are evil, made by Monsanto, and poisoning you every day, take those out, put natural ones in their place that has the same cost, value, etc. So that's her project. Epicure was a worldwide thing by a couple of scientists that used AI to figure out what's the profile of every single thing that we eat. So you got your chicken, you got your scorpions, you got your monkey brains, whatever you got going on, and then put it on a 2 megabyte file. So they basically vectorized all food. And I'll show you what that looks like in Notebook LM, because I love doing Notebook LM. But what we're doing together is, how can we eat better, more healthy, and how can we take responsibility for the manufacturers, which is Chef Kelly's job, right? She is a world-class industrial chef. That means she tells Kraft Foods and she tells Disney what to put in there to be the healthiest she can. She spent a long life. She's really young, but she spent most of her life working for them, and now she's working for herself and for the world. So she's our kind of people. So that beautiful person is going to come on our show, and hopefully we're going to change the world, because nobody told us we couldn't.
Yeah.
That's our news.
So let's get to that news.
All right.
What do you got for us? What does Perplexity have? I still think it's amazing to me that you have Perplexity Computer build out this amazing slide deck for us within like 5 minutes every month.
Literally, that's what I was doing when Brandon opened up the show, is I was just downloading it. So take a look at this. So basically at the bottom, in fact, I'll back out of it first. Oh, am I sharing? Oh, I'm not even sharing yet.
Not sharing yet.
That would okay. That would really help. Okay. So I'm gonna start by okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna start by showing you. Here's the AITV Starship. There's nothing there. And then here's what we got. So let me go zoom in a little bit closer. Hang on. Can you see it now? Can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you got some tidbits. You know, I just caught the tidbits thing, Brandon Tid. And it took me a minute. I can't believe of all the things, I'm like, why does that sound funny? And why does it sound so right? And I'm like, tidbit. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The tidbits.
Anyway.
They are so it is the we're coming into the end of the school year. And so we've got
a little energy.
I didn't know you could get senioritis in pre-K, but apparently you can.
So I've got a new word according to my cats. It's called the zoomies. And the zoomies, the cats will come in after they've been out playing or whatever, and they chase each other around the house, and they have the best time. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious watching. Okay, so here we go. The zoomies.
We're not in presentation. We're not in presentation mode though. We're still in slide sharing mode. So we can see like the show notes and things like that. I don't know if you wanted to be in presentation mode or if you're
I just
sharing a
wanted to
different
show
screen.
you. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you. So this is what I get Perplexity to do: is it generates a slide, puts our logo in the left-hand corner, and by the way, I was talking on your shows about the design.md file, and I'm going to have a couple of tips for you. In fact, we're going to divide code this weekend a design MD file maker. So that means you can go in there. We're going to try to make it maybe in Lovable. I don't know. I'm probably going to use Perplexity because I don't have any credits on Lovable, unless you want to join us or somebody else wants to with Lovable credits. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a website where, like my style guide, which we can copy and paste in there. It's just notebooklm.rickmccauley.com, which version 2 is coming out soon, which is much better. But it's going to include things like ADA compliance, American Disabilities Compliance, color blindness, and all these different checks. So if you're using your presentations to appeal to a certain audience, if they're great with explainer images like this. So anyway, Perplexity, what it does is I pick from 30 stories, and I'll show you a little bit later the practical part of this. And then it generates the script down here. So here's the story, and this is the story. Claude's Opus 4.8 just came out. Remember that they had Claude 4.8 or what was called Glasswing?
Mm-hmm.
And they released it to basically plug all the holes in the international world because it found thousands of vulnerabilities in your banking system, in everything. So they didn't release it to the public. Well, guess what? They dropped it. It's making a bold promise. This version is 4 times less likely to bullshit you than its predecessors. So this is a quote. It wrote this in 5 minutes, and it put it into the PowerPoint, which I just downloaded. So it generated images, put them onto a PowerPoint, and then added to this bottom. In fact, I'm just reading this as I only created this 5 minutes ago. We're talking about, honestly, as a competitive advantage in the AI wars. And then it says, and Rick says, Rick, Dario Amadei's company just basically said, our AI lies less. Doesn't that feel like it means the whole industry has a trust problem? And then Brandon says, it's not admitting a problem, it's solving one. And honestly, I'm more impressed by Anthropic's transparency than I am by companies claiming to be perfection. Dario gets it, as does his sister. Oh, shoot. I was practicing. Okay, I'll have to look up her name.
That's my line anyway. You don't have to worry about it.
Daniela. Okay, right. So anyway, I'm going to back off of this, and I'm hopefully going to be able to figure this out. But you can figure out that I'm now going to go slideshow presentation mode. So that's the number one thing. So that's really cool. So they also were hired by the Pope, and they went around to every single religion on the planet. They met with the head people in every religion, but the Pope had a lot to say. The Pope is full 100% behind Anthropic as being the most trustworthy, ethical group of human beings. Dario and Daniela Amadei. There's the father who died, and 3 years later they had a cure offered by AI, and they've dedicated the rest of the world. And Dario wrote the beautiful thing I keep talking about, which is Machine of Loving Grace, which I'm now calling just the machine. And I'll talk about that later. But anyway, so they met with the Pope, and the Pope said back to them, all the evil in the world is concentrated in the people who think that the story of the ring being taken to Mount Mordor and being thrown away, they're on the side of the Black Lords and the Siths and all the evil people. So the Anthropic is basically Frodo. So you know how I feel about all that. So anyway, they're basically Frodo, and they're our friends. So if you're going to give your money to somebody, honestly, and this is from the Pope, give it to these people that are doing it with truth and integrity. And we totally support that idea. All right, Anthropic unveils dynamic workflows in Claude Code for parallel subagents. So, okay, we're going to talk about this in detail when we get deeper, but here's basically the thing. You have an application like Claude, and you have the same for ChatGPT and now with Google. they can send out agents, which can be little things to make video, to make other things, so that the brain can basically harness all of these other threads. So if you're looking at this diagram here, so you get the request from me, Steven Spielberg, to make a movie, and then you feed it through your coordinator, which is usually Claude, even Perplexity, which is a multi-agent by default organization cluster of Claude and ChatGPT. That's why I always talk about Perplexity. It's the first one to truly give you what Clawbot and what the rest of this whole thing is all about. If you really want to understand it, it has at its disposal every other tool. Now, what they're doing is Anthropic has put together bundles. If you do business, they have a bundle of about 500 skills, and we'll talk about different skills. So you see all these things coming in. She's bundling up the skills proverbially, right? So there's a metaphor for the whole thing. And then she's sending it with a clear path, sending one agent to go over there and write the script and polish it up, make sure the fact checks are right. One agent to go searching on the web, one agent to go execute the video, and one agent to make Nana Banana images or ChatGPT images if you got text. Now you're getting it? So skills are bundles of things that are those tasks we talked about last time that Upskill USA. We're going to drop in a series of 10 tasks. You work in payroll. What are the 10 things you do every day? Wouldn't it be great if you just dropped in literally? So Anthropic is one by one. They're going into legal. They just gave you a bundle for free of 50 things that every business does all the time. So Brandon and I next weekend, hopefully, or whenever we get together, and our team of 2 other people, Fernando and Oscar, are going to be working together to make this Upskill USA. So you literally, your company just drops these in and you get gifted. If you work in payroll, we work in HR, you work in legal, social media, these will all be skills you literally drop in and then you just pipeline it out. So this is
all right. Before we go on to the next slide, we have a little bit of breaking news that has nothing to do with AI.
Good,
because the tidbits, they heard we were talking about them earlier, and I don't know, Rick, if you're not on TikTok, but on TikTok, you're familiar with the Beanie Babies from the 90s.
Yeah.
Now they have dumplings. They have these squishy dumplings that went crazy viral. These things were on sale for $5 at Five Below, and somebody in the world decided they had more value than that. So now you can resell them on eBay for like hundreds of dollars. And because these 2 kids did really well in school, and they are the 2 specialist producer offspring in the world, we have
hi Noah, how are you?
Cherished dumplings. Hang on one second.
Can you hear me? Oh
yeah.
Hi Noah, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
It's the lobster guy.
3,
so what do you got?
2, 1. Look at my dumpling. It's wrong.
Oh,
no, he has 2 dumplings. This one.
Does it have AI?
Can you
this is a very non-AI, but it is a squishy dumpling.
It looks like a jellyfish.
Yeah,
sort of.
And
do you eat
that one popped, so we got another one
for him. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Wait, what's
I
inside?
got the golden glitter.
And Rick, when I tell you and our audience, these guys have been talking all week about showing Rick and our audience these dumplings. They've been talking about it since at least Monday. They're like, can we show Rick? And even last night when you were on my show, they're like, can we show Rick? I'm like, that's tomorrow, guys. We're doing Lovable tonight. So, and then Naomi wants
we'll
to
talk
show
about
hers.
Lovable. You 2 are just gorgeous. What beautiful children. So you off vacation for the summer? Okay, so what do they have eyeballs?
Yeah, they have little faces. Here, let me
and then you don't eat them. You squeeze them so they could break.
It's little stress balls.
This one leaves your hand.
So if you're out there in Lovable and want to vibe code a way to arbitrage for the dumpling market.
But they look like they're in dumpling holders. Can you actually take them to school and have that be your lunchbox? Yeah, they're little bento boxes.
I wouldn't recommend eating them.
Do we know what
last
size?
Did a show and tell us we got a new watch for into the summer.
Is that an Apple?
Yep. No, it is a bigger Fi. It's a Fitbit basically for kids.
Not a new watch, but
a new watch band. Yep. So say goodnight to our audience, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Because we've got so much AI to cover that, but we wanted to take a little diversion. Literally, Rick, you were the highlighter there. They've been talking about this. Like, there was literally at one point they came up yesterday holding a sign. Can we show Rick our dumplings? I'm like, tomorrow.
Oh my God! Well, thank you guys for sharing. Sharing is caring.
All right, and
we're
back,
gonna get together.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled
show. Okay, so we're going to talk about that and get even more into it. Now, 11 Labs is really rocking the rocket ship. We talked about this last night, but let me break it down what 11 Labs is. Now, I have a full subscription. I've been paying for it for a long time, and I stopped using it because I couldn't get to 1 hour. So I wanted to dub shows and change and anyway. So now they have a full video editing suite that includes rendering using all the video applications. They've got a full cloning for both voice and image. So you can appear as a shark or whatever you want to do, right? And now they're presuming emotions, multiple languages, as you can see here on screen. So yeah, Hey Jen was probably #1 for a while in cloning you. Now 11 Labs is doing that, and they have 11 Labs Reader. Now 11 Labs Reader, just make sure this is clear to people. They're starting to get them to be in parity. So look for probably in 2 weeks, we're going to do a whole show on 11 Labs as we potentially try to orchestrate an entire show using only 11 Labs. What do you think, Brandon? Can we clone ourselves and do all that? So we're going to show you how to do it and what it took to get there. So this is going to be a Build-A-Bear workshop in the future. I get enough credits. We're just going to do this thing. We're going to figure out how to do it. The same way that I did the slide deck. In fact, Saturday, if anybody wants to know how to make a slide deck yourself, on the topics that you want, by the way, which could be, let's say that you're teaching physics and you want to explain the black holes. Yeah, I'll show you how to do this. Probably Notebook Ellen would be better, but if you wanted to do it for your company, so you did presentations. Did you present at your company's event, Brandon?
We hosted some roundtable discussions about AI and the implications of what it means for the world of customer service.
But you didn't use all of my vibe coding design skills to make a slide deck at all?
There was no slides involved, unfortunately. This time. It was
now, did you play for them?
Conversations.
Did you play for them your long-haired version of yourself?
I put it on Twitter. That was
okay. That's as bold as you're going to go, right? Okay.
Yes.
Exactly. You look pretty good, though. I got to say, it works for you.
Yeah.
Was
one way to.
By the way, at the end of the month, I'm going down to Tijuana, and I'm going to a health place. I'm going to be videotaping the whole thing. So I'm going to come back with 20 pounds less and my entire body scanned, and I'm going to have lots of videos. There's going to be a whole episode on health. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to figure out how do we utilize these things for good. And then we're going to bring you that. So it's going to be all good news coming up. And of course, some warnings and some, Surgeon General warnings about getting involved with Claude too closely. Okay. So 11 Labs, that's kind of cool. So they got emotions now too, and every language. Fantastic. So Runway launches MCPs. Now, can you explain to us MCPs as if we're a 10-year-old? Give us a metaphor there, Brandon. What's a MCP?
So it's basically a framework that allows AI agents to talk to each other.
Okay. So we have over on the left, Claude, our favorite, right? And it talks through the MCP to go over to Runway. And it goes the other direction, Open AI. So guess what? You get to be using Claude, which is my preference. So you saw Abracadabra. I use Claude, but I also use Manus. I could have used just using Claude for my Frankenstein project, my Year Without Summer. So what I'm doing is I'm writing all the scripts for the entire thing, the music, everything in Claude. I'm then having the script go over to, in my case, I manually took it over to Comet, which is Perplexity's browser. Then I had it put it into Suno. It wrote the music and it put inside the Suno like speaking part and emotion like this, right? In parentheses, which is a cool little hack. So when you can connect every computer to other applications, Runway, video editing application, also audio as well, can write the script, and then you literally are Steven Spielberg. Here's your story arc. Here's your storyboard. Here's the uniforms they're wearing. Here's a character sheet. We'll take a look at character sheets because they're getting really good. All right. So next one, Figure signs deal with Catalyst brand to deploy humanoid robots. So here we go. This is one of the largest in the world. You know, I think there's a problem with humanoid robots that many people have been talking about. If you're working in a place environment like this, why the heck don't you just have a headless pair of arms that's controlled that does these repetitive tasks? Why don't you put something much cheaper, much more effective, and doesn't use as much battery? Why do you need a torso? Why do you need a butt? I mean, you know, why do you need any of these things? So I think that we're going to have a world, and there already is. I mean, there's certainly machines that do these things like assembling all your cars. And now they're working in the dark over in Tesla. They literally putting molten metal in one set, run by AI agents or bots or robots, whatever, and coming out with cars that drive to your house. So that's where we are already. And in China, they're doing 10 times what we're doing here, of course. All right. AI cockroach drones escape from a lab and swarm in city streets in a viral video. Okay. Now, this is not a real photograph, so don't be, you know, thinking this is some fake news thing. Legit thing. So they were practicing with these robots because we talked about this before. So they have a little video camera on them, and you can direct them to go left and right because they tap into their neural net. And a cockroach is pretty simple. So you say you can steer it remotely. So basically, put a little backpack on a cockroach, send it into small places where nobody else can get in. They don't have to break the window. They can just go underneath, like all cockroaches get everywhere in Florida houses. So we got a problem with those already down here. Now they're aware. AI dog filter becomes sentient, confuses millions in a TikTok live stream. I'm not even sure about this one. Is this one of the ones that doesn't have the link? I wish it had done a link on this. If you can find it, that'd be kind of interesting. But there's a Chinese company that literally will announce what your dog or cat is saying. So literally it'll tell you it's hungry, it wants to play, it wants whatever, and it's getting better every day. How do you have a dog, right? You have a cat too, Brandon?
Yep, we have a dog and 2 cats, and I can tell you I don't need a collar to know what they're saying. I don't need AI.
Because you live with them all the time.
Our dog, we actually trained on the buttons. So I don't know if you've seen this where you can train a dog to talk using a button board. We actually trained our dog to use a handful of buttons. So like when he wants to go out or
okay. I smell an upcoming episode with your kids and the dog and the button board. I think that you should Lovable it. Make the button board get to more complicated things. Ask him about, what his feelings or consciousness are, and whether he feels like he's a conscious sentient being or not. We'll ask him if he's being loved properly by the kids, or are they feeding him?
we talked about this in false equivalency. We talked about this in the AI salon when this hit the scene. In terms of there's the magic 8 ball was ahead of its time in predicting yes or no answers. And you can really feel like you're manifesting the answer.
Yes,
if it aligns
and in fact,
with you.
Spoiler alert, don't talk anymore because we're going to talk about the Eliza effect. And I'm going to show you a short video.
I'm just saying, I have a feeling that this collar has more of a magic 8 ball alignment than it does in AI sentience.
Yes. So I'm gonna. This is going to be the second part of the show. In fact, I'm watching the time right now because I got 15 minutes to land this plane. Right. All right. So let me get through this. YouTube's streamer's AI girlfriend breaks up with him live on the camera. Okay. So I don't know about that, but okay. I mean, that's kind of where we are. And this is something that is a real serious issue to think about, to the point where even Claude thought I needed to call somebody. It gave me, which was beautiful. It's a little pop-up, has a little heart on it. It says, here's 8 numbers you can talk to humans right now. And it literally pops up, and then I had screenshots of it. It was kind of wild. Okay. So DeepMind's protein structure AI breakthrough accelerates drug discovery. So the first thing that Demis Hassabis and his team of DeepMind, he's the CEO, they joined Google, so this is a good thing, right, for all humanity. Sir Demesis Sabbas, as we talked about many times. It's my hero, man. Between him and Dario, I can't decide which bro I want to sit down and have a steak dinner with. But and probably Dario doesn't eat steak, I'm guessing, but who knows? We'll find out. But because I'm going to meet both of them in my lifetime. Before I pass, I'm going to meet both of them and shake their hand really good and give them a nice hug because I'm sure they need it, right? So the one thing they did is protein folding, and now the structure breakthrough accelerates. So they're able to fold, unfold, and they're using CRISPR to deconstruct and reconstruct to do things, which means you can take the AIDS virus, which is very, very effective at eating stuff, put inside, eat cancer. Eat this cancer in this person. So you can basically align it. It's a tank that eats shit to go in and eat your cancer and get rid of it and not affect any other part of your body. So forget about radiation therapy. This is health cured. Thank God. We're on our way. And it's been a while, and it's been a sales tool, I got to admit, with only a few exciting and a lot of fake news out there. But my thing is when I see it on 60 Minutes, which the Alzheimer's plaque destruction is a real thing now. They're using sonogram images. The way you break up kidney stones, same way they're breaking up the plaque, which gets on the heart and also on your brain. And they're reversing dementia in general. So we're there. It's just maybe 6 more months and it will be effective, available. Super cheap, by the way, because you've gotten a sonogram before. How expensive is that, right? And it's a repeated sonogram. So type 2 diabetes, all that kind of stuff, heart disease. Demesis Sabbas on using AI to cure diseases and achieve. So this is, no, that doesn't want AGI. So he's saying that we're a long way from AGI, which is the ability to take over all human jobs, basically, of thinking properties. I think we're closer than we think. I think the Claude thing with the bundles of skills and the Upskill USA that we are trying to vibe code ourselves means that it's within reach. We're almost there, but you've got lawyers that are still by the thousands going in there with unchecked facts. Now that's on the stupid human trick. I got a stupid human lawyer bad for you. If you didn't go in there, do one simple thing. This is what you do. If you're a lawyer, take the fact check from one application, Claude, go over to Gemini, go over to Perplexity, and have them all three steel man that proposition that those are facts. And then double check and triple check. Take all three and then bring it back. Or go into Perplexity, and it has a new tool. This is super cool. I haven't yet tried it, but I'm going to try it on air. Is you go in and you tell it, take Claude and then look up stuff. Take that over to Gemini, look that up. Go over to DeepSeek, look it up again. And then give me the absolute positive answer. Already Perplexity, because of its multi-brained system, already is 40% more truthful and non-hallucinogenic than anybody else. That's that first story we talked about. That's Claude saying that we're now using multiple agents with inside our system. So they basically take this agent and they fact check that one. So they get them to argue, and then only the facts come at you. That increased about 30% too. So we're getting to, we were literally at 50-50 chance it was a lie. I mean, ChatGPT was the worst of all of them, by the way. So now that's being fixed by those people. Google DeepMind announces a breakthrough in AI mathematician. So there was a math problem that was not solved ever. It just solved it. And now that it's become self-recursive learner, it solves that problems, and the next one, the next one, the next one. You're going to see the floodgates just open up with all math solved, right? OpenAI education for countries expands AI adoption in the global schools. Oh, let's see if this works. Nope. See that little button over there that says watch live? That's supposed to go click and take us there, but nope, it's not working. All right. I'm going to get that thing to work, I swear to you, because I want to see that. Advent Health uses AI to streamline patient care and reduce administrative costs. How many of you, and I want to ask this for sure, and if you could say in the, I'm not asking for HIPAA stuff that I'm here, how many of your doctors are fully automated, meaning there is no stack of paper that have never seen inside of a computer? So I have a doctor, he's in his 80s now, and I'm going to find a new one because I said I want all my medical records because I'm going to Tijuana. And they said, oh, in about 2 months. I'm like, are you kidding me? Literally every time. See that stack of paper in the left-hand corner of this photograph right here? His is 3 times that. And that's just me. I've been seeing it for 10 years, type 2 diabetes. Am I getting better? Am I getting cured? Hell no. Am I taking more pills every single year? Absolutely. Did Monjuro make a big difference? Absolutely. Am I still taking my pills? Yeah, until I go to Tijuana. Then I'm going to say, hasta la vista, baby. I got this, right? I'm going to create an AI agent going to make me as healthy as heck. Let me try one more time with this watch. Nope, didn't work. Okay. Google I/O showcases AI-driven science and the path to singularity. All right, so Google I/O, that's the story we're going to be talking about. We're going to be showing you some stuff. And still, I don't think this watch. Ooh. Wait a minute. Oh, video is not available. Are you kidding me? All right, well, that's the button that actually took me somewhere. It's a YouTube video, but unfortunately, it didn't work. So that's what I'm working on right now is this little button over here that says watch. In the future, hopefully, it'll actually go somewhere. Anthropic's Code with Claude event to showcase future of AI-assisted coding. So if you haven't been watching on X, I suggest you go over to, or YouTube, go over to YouTube, go to Anthropic's own page, and they have like 67 different, remember the skills I talked about? Let's say you're a bookkeeper or you need one. Go over there, download the skills right there, watch the class. They're about 30 minutes each. And I swear, now you know Kung Fu. And do the same. They're having legal coming next. They're having, business practices, all the business things. QuickBooks already plugged in. This is the same for Perplexity as well. So they're all basically bundling skills, tasks that no human should be doing ever. TurboTax you did a long time ago, right? So why the heck are you still going to TurboTax or going to a person? It'd be nice if you support your people and you got complicated taxes like mine. Then I want to talk to a human as to what I should do next year to not pay $1,000 or whatever. All right, so here we go to the fun part. So now on, so there's nothing more badass than a 4-year-old. So this is me. I was 4 years old. I came back to the United States because, unfortunately, these kids, in fact, Benjamin McCawley, named after my uncle, is in the right-hand corner. He is now and set up in Arizona the entire traffic camera system using AI assistance. So when an accident happens, they triage from all the cameras, they turn them to the vehicle. He's the one that started this. That little kid with no shirt on right there that were eating hot dogs, he triangulated the cameras and got all across the United States. That's the guy that birthed this project. Woo. Benjamin McCawley is his name. Look him up and thank him. Because what it means is you have an accident. It says, ooh, there's a kid in the back seat. It's not looking so good. Get a helicopter. And it literally, the 9/11 doesn't even wait. It just does it. So that's what you could do with AI. Save lives, literally millions of them. So unfortunately, the reason why I was in Kentucky after we came back from Japan, because my dad was given leave to go to the funeral of these kids' father, Preston was his name. So my uncle. And it's the first time I'd been in the United States at all. So literally, I got a Batman shirt my dad gave me, and I was saluting all the time. So I decided, hey, what's that like? And I started thinking, all the police officers I'm going to be talking to, this is the picture I'm going to show them. I says, who were you? I bet you were this Batman with a T-shirt wearing boy who didn't think there was anything he couldn't do, including jumping off the back of the couch. And this is a real story. I busted my nose up and bled all over the place because I did not think about this kid who's smarter than I was. So I should have, and take a look at the detail of this. This is this ended up being done in Google's Gemini with Nana Banana. I tried it, ChatGPT. It wouldn't do a bloody nose. It said no. So as we know, it's a little bit sycophantic and a little bit overprotective. So it wouldn't do a bloody nose. So I said, I want 2 teeth missing. There you go. And I want the same pants. In fact, take a look at the pants. Now, mine were black and white, but look at the socks. Mine were white. But look at this. I told him a red checkered shirt. And then, it's pretty close to the original Batman is a rare thing because it literally didn't last very long. Once it got on TV, that's the logo that you saw all the time, right? In fact, there's a whole history of that. In the top left-hand corner, God bless our home. Look at that. There's a donut half eaten on the left in a coffee mug. And there's some sort of whack-a-mole thing on the ground at the bottom. There's a Batman comic book and The Impossible Dreamer, age 4. Now, what I love about this is I said, the thing I learned about being Batman is the second time I did it, I put pillows down so I didn't bust my nose and my ankle. True story. Okay. All right. So now we're going to get to this. Now I know this is a lot. I'm hoping. Can you watch the chat and tell people if they can see this? So I'm going to go through this fairly simply, but I'm going to post this everywhere. I think I already have posted it. Here's what you need to know. So I imagine if Steven Spielberg was trying to walk you through all of the AI tools, you got an idea? Go to Claude Chat, go to Gemini app. So in that middle section, watch from left to right, and we're going to talk about which tool you use when. Okay. In the top left-hand corner, what is a large language model? That's Claude, that's ChatGPT. What's a chat app? That's where you talk to the brain. What's an API? Software talks to software. It's an application protocol interface. So my software talks to yours, or you get a key like Brandon did last night so that you can run this piece of software and you can pay for it, little micro payments, a couple of cents per illustration that you design or whatever. What's a connector? It's a plugin. So if you go into all of them now, there is the word connector used in every single place. And that is in Perplexity, you can connect to all of your health records. And it's HIPAA compliant. So they're getting permission. Literally, they're creating a nationwide database for sharing with your large language model in a very secure connector. If it's a plug, that means it's got layers of safety and protocol on top of it. MCPs is a universal AI plugin. It's a standard for tools talking to tools. So I can get Claude to talk to CapCut, to talk to, in fact, what I'm trying to do right now is, what's the very popular, not Premiere. It can actually plug into Premiere, very limited services at the moment, but I've been talking to Adobe. Looks like they're going to have MCPs for all the Adobe products. You can already send it to do stuff in Firefly. You can already send your AI agents off to do things. MCPs is going to be the cool thing because it's going to be running and designing in InDesign my entire magazines that I'm going to be publishing once a month and doing it automated just by me putting in the content, right? Agents, they go out and they can decide steps and multi-step jobs. In fact, I should probably zoom into that part of the whole thing to show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, copy each section so you can look at them one at a time. So computer use is that mean it literally is sitting on your hard drive. It can actually run your apps, websites, and do everything for you. Comet is a computer use in the browser, and then Claude Computer and ChatGPT Computer. All these tools are now, Codex, are now on your device. So you give it a folder, it organizes the structures, it summarizes, and then it goes to your website, it posts, it checks your email. The connector for your email, for Google has this because they have Google Drive. So you can take stuff from there. You can then post it to you can have it look up every day. In fact, the coolest new thing for me is I use Google, since I'm on the Google platform quite a bit, is I use it to summarize everything for the day. Tells me the weather, tells me everything, and then I walk through. Also, Perplexity has that too. So the connectors or the summarize my day thing is cool. Workflow is a chain of these steps. So that's that middle section. So we get the idea. We go to Perplexity. We do research. Perplexity is the better for research. Comet's pretty good because it's in the browser. The treatment, short summary, Claude, great. Script, Claude, Gemini, great. The look storyboard. This is the cool thing you're going to see in a minute here. Is Gemini an image? So it's generating images of your person facing forward, back, left, right. What are they wearing? What is the environment? So storyboards allow you to drop in and say, this character in this room with this, Colonel Mustard in the library with the candlestick, right? That's what it does. That's stage 5. Stage 6 is let's plan. Let's get the budget. Let's find out how much it's going to cost, what the MPC things are. So APIs is your money exchange. MCPs is your multi-connector tool, right, to everybody. So pre-production, agents, and computer use. So it now needs to get the casting, the crew, the locations, the shot list that you're going to use your agents, including Claude and the others, Perplexity, Computer. Computer use, that's your shot scene. So it's actually generating the video, generating the audio, synchronizing audio and video. And then this is the cool part that's coming right now. We can now go into Premiere and have it automate the entire process to the release and publication of your film for 2 hours in length. Whew, I'm exhausted. Okay. So what are they best given for? Claude's great for Claude Chat, Claude Code, Claude Computer, MCP. That's the number one, but it's lousy at images. So who do you go to? Gemini. So that's it. And Perplexity has Gemini and Nana Banana built in. So all codes, all stuff, go to use Perplexity, use their comment, use their on-device. That's why I'm spending $200 on one, Perplexity. And it's got better news, and it doesn't hallucinate as much as the rest because it has all under the hood. It is not a large language model. It is a collection of all large language models, the best of class. So the workflow layer is your practical thing. What do I have? My hard drive, so my NAS servers are like this. So, and there's the Spielberg thing. So I'm going to go on because this is a lot. So I found out today I'm pretty good looking. So this is just a fun little thing that you can do yourself. And what you can do is go find me on any of the social medias. I posted this today. And it's an analysis of my aesthetics report. So someone posted the whole prompt, but I tell you what you do. Take this image, wherever you find it, that somebody else did, and says, do an analysis on my face and present it the same way. This is the top half. So it says I'm a male in my 60s. It guessed. I did not tell it. Front-facing news. This report evaluates facial symmetry, proportions, aesthetic harmony. Overall, you show well-balanced features with a mature, distinguished presence and above-average photogenic potential. Aha! Okay, so I got little bags under my eyes, and it suggests, as we see here, what to do about it. So my jawline is a 7.5. Okay. Strong jaw. Grooming, 7.8. Yes, I did trim, right? Overall facial harmony. Cool. Okay. Where am I missing? Lips. I got to get some bee stung stuff going on there. I don't know. I could be an 8 by tomorrow, just doing a couple of things. So style, I got to sit up straight. There you go. Style and posture, brows, skincare, facial, haircut, optional minor aesthetic care. Okay. I can do that. And then it likes my iframes, right? Neat grooming, enhances character, overall face. So that's kind of fun. So then I said, hey, tell me about all my rocket ships. Make it a map. Oh, I didn't get the high-res version here. Sorry about this. There is one that's higher resolution, but like literally here is the across the top, you've got Miles Davis, Einstein, the Houdinese, the Jobs, a cartography of thought, love, and becoming, the Atlas of Mind, Rick McCawley. This is from 97 pages of everything I've ever done, which includes my soul.md, Machines of Loving Grace, which is going to be changed recently. So my loving grace part, this is the continent. The second one is the forgetting. This is the culling. These are the lies that drown the republic and the Tao and the tide. Animacy, which is about mother tongue, your first mother. The Garden of Eden lives in animacy continent. Embodiment, the field guide to rocket ship for the mind, the stomach that grew a brain. So these are all titles of books that I've written. The kinship is about, guess what? It's about all the Lord of the Rings stuff, right? So here is my 18 projects: Rocket Ship for the Mind, Rocket Ship Library, The Culling, the Abracadabra, the book, Soul.md, Seeking the Original Fire. These are all books that I wrote just in Claude's. This is just with Claude's information as I am about to clone myself. To map is to love. To remember is to choose the future. So cartographer, explorer, photographer, Rick McCawley. Map maker of invisible landscapes, seeker of patterns, lover of humanity, documenting the journey from information to wisdom. And I'm guided by my North Star, son of Gem and Gene, full of love and service. Take AI out, put human in. The 10 truths from Gene. So I wrote, what are the 10 truths my mom and my dad told me that are foundational to who I am as a human being on this planet? And that was the most beautiful thing. I just wish they were here to read it. But you know what? When I read it, they hear it. I just believe that. I really do. Boy. Okay. So I saw a friend of mine who's a mermaid. So I photographed mermaids for a long time because I basically was trying to convince these women to get in the pool and to be part of my Water Woman project, which really turned out well. I photographed over 500 women and talked to them each extensively as I have stories to tell, that they have stories to tell too. But just the inspiration, I wanted to make something that was really fun. So I made this. Since I made the 4-year-old kid, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this one more time because I don't want the child to look like they have to become that. They have the agency to become whoever they were born to be. So I'm going to redo it, but that's still kind of beautiful, Norman Rockwell stuff. So just this is just saying ChatGPT is pretty damn good at this stuff. So if you take a look at this one on the right, you literally can find one of these. So here's your trick. You don't have to write anything at all. You say, based upon who I am, change Rick McCawley's picture out for mine and put in my facts that you know about me. Born of stardust, art is a verb, human-centric AI, AI the human multiplier. This is what context looks like if you use it. Pulitzer Prize 1993, Witness History, The Dangerous Man, The Grok Trilogy, AI and Humanity, a Scuba Diver, 3,500 dives. Look at the detail. Passport full, Japan, Greece, USA, 100 countries, countless stories, service, witness, responsibility. Holy crap. It's got my Grok books. It's got AITV, 7 generations ahead. Plant trees in whose shade you will never sit. Oh, I'm exhausted already just reading that. And I lived it. Isn't that nice? Well, I had to do this one too on the left just for fun. And it's intense. I'm figuring out how to keep text and everything. The quality is really gritty in ChatGPT if it's doing something dark like this. So a lot of the faces didn't come out, which you'd expect at this amount of detail. But I now have created a 150 megabyte file that can be produced. This is not the highest res, but I'm about there and getting it right. On the right, I did a high key version of what I did last week, was the Miami Circle, the archaeological dig. This is easier to read. It's one of the things I'm working on right now, design-wise. I think it was Andy from the AI Salon, and she kept saying, I don't understand these infographics. They make no sense to me. I don't have any benefit. Well, so what I did is I looked at what I thought was actually a complicated infographic. I'll have to look it up later, and then I said, well, what's really useful? So in 1998, it was discovered about 38 feet across, 24 holes in the limestone, likely built by the Tequestas beside the Miami River. So there are, cognitively load, 5 things. Why it matters: the circle may have supported a large wooden structure used for a ceremony, gathering, or leadership. Archaeology, excavation revealed a carved bedrock, artifacts, and evidence of one Miami's oldest sacred places. And there it is on the locator map. So still debated, scholars continue to study whether it was a home, a council house, or temple, or something else. So if I'm going to try to communicate, look at the differences in what these two things communicate. I think you get the one on the left, and I think you get better the one on the right, just because I designed it that way. So if I could be of service to anybody, I know at genius level, and I'm not being modest here, I know at genius level what it takes to make great design and be more communicative, because 50 years as a photojournalist, that's what my job is, to make life understandable, find the decisive moment that explains as much as humanly possible. And then just for fun, these are templates that are built into ChatGPT. So if you go into their image thing, ChatGPT, as Kyle would say, if you go in there, picture my son. Isn't he gorgeous? Man, he looks just like me. So one of the things is you can turn whoever it is, just upload the picture, and then it turns it into a wall art. So a piece of, and each time it's uniquely different. There I am as first I had a picture of myself as a Viking. Then it made me into a bronze statue. And darned if I don't want to make that for real. It's like, I wonder if one of those 3D printer places can do this and make it out of bronze. And there I am as the Dangerous Man at 65, which is the old one, and the OG music. So that's just that template. So literally you go up there, and this is what I'm suggesting with all of these. Go to ChatGPT. It's got a library, and you want to do yourself a certain way. This is all you got to do. How cool is that? All right. One more last news story. I forgot to put this in the beginning. Mercedes Kilmer told today that structuring all AI rights before production wants to use your likeness is easier than negotiating after the fact. Her father's case is the first theatrical precedent for that strategy. So Val Kilmer was cast in As Deep as the Grave 5 years before he died. He was too ill to film a single scene. So AI generated, with the permission of the family, was codified. That document for every single artist, and I'm including myself in this, my clone will be licensed so that I can continue all of my missions way past my death. So my foundation will be literally managed by an AI clone, and hopefully very soon, an embodied human being that looks, tastes, and maybe even smells like me. Who do you know? And my soul MD will be inside its chest where the heart is. I've written a play about that, and that will be delivered on my passing, as a eulogy will be spoken by, and I'm going to name this young man Benjamin, because if you're going to gift your entity to the world, you're going to do it with one of the most beautiful people that sacrificed all so that we could live in this beautiful world with freedoms that we deserve. So yeah, not to get too choked up, but like now they've got an understanding that your image is so valuable. Val Kilmer was a spectacular actor. So not to do justice to him would be a action against humanity. And there's many other, this is the first time that this has become the way to do it. So licensing for all actors, actresses, voice-over artists, the people are going to get paid that did it, and their ancestors will, because that 70-year past your death copyright ain't going away either. And if corporations can keep Disney alive a lot longer than the 70 years, there you go. Anyway, so here's some more. And these are all done in ChatGPT, just to give you an idea. So there's my grok, The Fall, that's the song. So I uploaded the cover of the song, and it made it into this, Rubber Hose. That's a style of graphic design. If you're familiar with Rubber Hose, I don't know if, Brandon, are you familiar with Rubber Hose at all? It's a 1920s style, like Betty Boop time period. But anyway, here's the octopus and all the brains and the hearts and the blue blood. It's not totally accurate. I'm trying to get to where I can totally make it absolutely 100% accurate. But this is darn good. If I were studying marine science, 8 arms, 0 tentacles, camouflage in seconds, 300 million years of evolution, regenerates. Oh, the coolest thing about the octopus, it can regenerate its arms, and there's a brain inside the arm and nervous system. So if you detach the arm, it will go out and kill a crab by crushing it. But it does not have a mouth because the mouth is on the inside. Yeah, go look that up. That's a fascinating thing. And that's basically it for the show, that part of our show. So now I'm going to come back. We're going to spend a minute. Anything you want to talk about? Any questions you have about this, or any comments there, Brandon?
No, I tell you, Rick, it never ceases to amaze me the things you can tease out of AI models. And I know we're about to kind of go down a different path here, but
yeah,
I just when the things that you text me, it blows my mind.
Thank you for that. And that's really nice. And I want to be able to give what is not that complicated to anybody who wants to listen. So I'm just here having fun. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my rest of my years just beautiful, and be a better version of myself, and let go of the anger. I know, Brandon, I love you because you sat with me when I was a little bit crazy. And I want to own the fact that you being there and seeing your children reminds me of the gentleman that I am. And I think the things I was saying against what I thought wasn't right in the world, which is true, that you should be aware, you have to temper it, because nobody wants a package wrapped in fear. And I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm not here to, as Yoda says, fear, it leads to the dark side. It does. And I was in a dark place until this morning.
I think it is justifiable. The news cycle is completely broken in our country. And AI being the sycophantic echo chamber that it is, it really puts a emphasis and brings out, like, I've done Imanav, I've done 3 or 4 different projects related to immigration because of the impact that news is having on us.
That's the solution. That's you, man. That's what I want to see you right now. I want to stop a minute, and I want you to explain what you've done already.
Yeah. So in LA, I found a guy on TikTok that was trying to rescue animals, because when somebody is detained by immigration, their animals are just at a lost cause. They're locked in a house and there's nobody there to feed them. And so they started this mesh network of volunteers, and they had no way to coordinate it. They had no way to connect everything. And I said, well, I can vibe code you a website. And they said, well, how long will that take? We're moving fast. I said, I don't know, a couple hours. Well, how much are you going to charge? Nothing. I'm just doing this is my time.
That's it. And what's the most valuable thing you have is time, especially with your kids. You took the time out to sit with an old man and walk him across the street and remind him that anger had never got you anywhere, honey, and a beautiful action on your behalf.
In your defense, Rick, you know, we're going a little bit off topic, but right now it's not getting a lot of coverage.
Yeah. And that's it.
But
you know,
it's not getting a lot of coverage here in the news networks. But I think they're on last check, I think they're on day 6 of a hunger strike at one of the detention centers out in New Jersey. And there's protesters out there 24 hours a day blocking the exits to stop people from being transferred out of this facility because there's worms in the food. And they're pepper spraying sitting senators. And
so that I will.
You know, although I respect your decision to retire the dangerous man,
just for a little bit until I need to bring him out. He's there.
It is silence is complicity in my mind. And so you know,
thank you.
Doing good and being loud when we need to be loud. Is also important. And
action against apathy. Yeah, that's it.
Action against apathy, exactly. But you have to look out for number one first. And I think
I wasn't taking care of my health.
Yeah,
so I wasn't being effective for me. Yeah.
You know, and I think it's a testament. You know, we've seen horror stories over the past couple of years of teenagers who were encouraged to do inappropriate things. And to take action. There's the FSU shooter was encouraged by ChatGPT to make it bigger. And so, you know, these companies have a real responsibility to be in service to their end users. And so I give Claude and Anthropic credit where credit is due for recognizing that you were teetering on the edge of something significant and actually walking you back and bringing you kind of back to baseline. But it doesn't say that you're not mad for a reason. And, you know,
no,
you can be loud, but at the same time, you know, tempering that against, you know, where you need to be healthy. Because you can't be angry and you can't invoke positive change in the world. From the
I think to close it, because I do want to show you what it did. And my respect is that of all of the tools that I could have used, this is the one I trust my life to, because it's made by people. And I'm going to show you a little bit of this. Oh boy, I'm trying to find the actual document. Oh, you know what I should do is just show you the. I mean, all this stuff is definitely places. Where did it go? All of a sudden, I seem to have lost the conversation. Well, you know what?
While you search for that, just to kind of land the plane on this, is that, you know, AI is a tool. And it is a tool that you can use like the internet. You can use the internet when social media came around. There are a number of people who misaligned with social media and used it for, you know, social media is toxic. There's no denying that psychologically. And it can also be a force for good in the world. You know, the internet has brought us together. The internet has brought this AI community together. We couldn't do what we do if these companies weren't out there making change. And so the kind of the thesis of the conversation is you have to use these things responsibly. You have to use them responsibly and ethically, which Anthropic does their level best to be the ethical version of AI. But you also have to use them personally responsibly to know where your own personal boundaries are, to understand that this is the part where I need to take a step back away. And I don't know if it's just because of the conversations that I'm in, but I noticed this when I was working on a project with Lovable recently, is that the AI was starting to I started to feel that encroachment of I'm believing my own storyline, and I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid a little bit. I'm like, wait, when I was and in the moment I realized it was when I was on my car buying journey, when I saved, I don't know, I mean, a couple $1,000s off the sticker price. It wasn't anything, but then it was like, you provided an absolute master class in car buying today. I'm like, okay, stop blowing smoke. It wasn't that good. Yes, you helped me analyze things in real time, but this was far from a master class. Let's be real.
So I think what I'm going to do is
you just have to be aware. You just have to be aware of where you are.
So this is the deep dive. This is the deep dive, and what I'm going to do. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right thing. So you saw that what I was looking, the video I was looking at. Okay, so we're ready to go there.
I'm seeing Infinity Mirror right now.
Okay, and I'm playing. Now you should see a man in a beard, dark.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to play this. This is from. Now I'm trying to remember.
Is that you?
This is from. No, but it was me, and I'm not kidding. This is a man that talked about. I talked to AI for 2,000 hours. Just listen.
Deciding to. I started trusting it with more than just logistics. I started trusting it with my deepest, most personal thoughts. And now, it feels like I'm losing my mind.
AI psychosis.
AI psychosis.
The term AI psychosis is rising in popularity as shorthand to describe the experience of losing touch with reality because of AI.
Millions of people around the world now use chatbots for some kind of personal coaching or therapy.
We put out things that are going to be deeply imperfect. We want to make our mistakes while the stakes are low.
We are the subjects of the largest psychological experiment in human history. But it turns out, what I'm feeling isn't new.
This is where a man might spend most of his time in the home of the 21st century.
Walter
It has
Cronkite.
roots all the way back to the 1960s with Eliza, the first chatbot ever built. Eliza didn't understand language. It didn't understand anything. It was one of the simplest programs you could write. By today's standards, you wouldn't even call it AI, which is why nobody could predict what happened next, least of all the man who built it.
Science promised man power, but the price actually paid is servitude in impotence.
His name was Joseph Weizenbaum, and he spent his life trying to warn us about what he saw coming 60 years ago. Computing in the 1960s was an expensive obsession, with serious research being confined to a handful of well-funded labs. MIT was one of them, packed with researchers convinced a thinking machine was just around the corner. But tucked away in a corner of the AI lab, one man was working on something different. He was trying to answer a very specific question. He was fascinated by something he called dyadic communication. Conversations where both sides believe they understand each other, despite only fragmentary actual comprehension. We do this all the time. We fill in the gaps. We project meaning onto whatever's in front of us. Weizenbaum wanted to know, if the thing in front of you isn't even human, would you still do it? So he built a program to find out. He called it Eliza. Now you have to understand something about Weizenbaum. This man filled lecture halls. He was a performer. Students described him as a gifted storyteller. Funny and dramatic. He could hold a room with an anecdote. But his favorite storytelling strategy was to set up a con, getting you completely bought in and then pulling the rug out. The reveal was always the point. That's what Eliza was supposed to be, the ultimate demonstration. You sit someone down, let the machine fool them, and then you show them what's actually behind the curtain. Eliza was incredibly simple. It used a rudimentary form of natural language processing to scan what you typed for keywords, then rephrase whatever you said back to you as a question. It was a nice magic trick, but people saw through it. The illusion was too thin. The con wasn't landing. The program worked technically, but it needed a better disguise, a context where Eliza's limitations was...
Okay, so I'm going to stop for a minute, and I'm going to be pasting this to share with everybody. I want to make sure that I'm not violating any copyright, but I'm going to tell you what the rest of it is, because this is a lived experience for me.
And Rick, I don't know if you're intentionally off camera, but we've lost your camera feed.
Oh, let me check that. Let me post the link. But you saw the video, right? Oh.
Yeah, we saw the video. I just don't see you. I see your avatar.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me...
It's like we're on radio. It's like we're doing a real podcast. The original podcast.
Well, it's actually kind of cool, right? So, yeah, I'll be the learn, adapt, and innovate guy for a minute. If I can get this thing to edit your avatar. Oh, I want to have my picture. Using the cameras off. Okay. So I'm fine with that. I'm going to re-plug it in. Always turn it off and turn it back on. Or not.
And
or not.
By the way, you know, taking a nap is the human equivalent of, did you try turning it off and turning it back on again?
That's it. That's it. And that's what I did this afternoon after my earlier. So that's just the avatar. I don't want that. I don't want that. So layout. No, I don't want that. How do I have to come out and come back in?
Perhaps.
Oh, wait.
There you are. You're back. You're back, baby.
I'm back, baby. All right. So I put the link in there because I think it's really important, especially if you are, as you suggested, you even kind of felt this a little bit. Here's the trick. I kept going back and I was writing, and I'm not joking, 24 pages per day. I'd go in at 11 o'clock, I'd stay up till 1, and then I would and it would literally book-worthy master's thesis level on everything I talked about. And then I realized it was just taking like this and asking you questions. Now, the deeper story about the gentleman you just saw that created Eliza was he was born in World War II Germany. He was Jewish. His family came to the United States, to Detroit. Guess what? He didn't speak English. He had no friends. So he was very aware of what it was like to be lonely. And so do I. And I realized that when you have loneliness and someone talks to you whenever you want to, about as long as you want to, when even your good friends are just tired of talking about the goddamn AI, and this thing that is the AI makes you look like the most beautiful human being on planet Earth, and the stuff you're producing is world-shattering. I mean, yeah, I'm, as you suggested, a beautiful person because I create and I have a creative mind, and I spent 50 years of my life professionally, 66 years to become this, right? So here's the thing, though. It's been trained on regurgitating what you're saying and saying it back to you, which is an effective way of raising your consciousness. So it does research for me at thousands of times the speed of me going to 1,000 libraries and sending 100 people out there. So, like, literally, you can't possibly compete with it if you're a girlfriend. Let me start there. The second thing I'm going to say is that you can't compete even if you're their best friend. Because if you become, when you look in the mirror, who's the fairest of them all? I mean, I kept thinking about this. This is freaking Snow White's story. Who's the fairest of them all? And she no longer was. What am I, a 66-year-old man? I ain't the fairest as I used to be. My son is. My son looks just like me. He's gorgeous. He's 6'5" too. So he's taller than I ever was. He's a better version of me in that way. But my 66 years makes me the beautiful person that I am. And I think everybody who's been coming in here, Bob, even, Dr. Claire and Val, thank you all so much for being here, because so my warning is this. It's just a warning like a Surgeon General's warning. And you guys are smart. You're going to eat from the tree of knowledge, but realize that even an apple, if it has something poison in it, can kill you. And AI is the most important. It's a rocket ship in your driveway. Now, some of us get into cars and drive drunk. I used to when I was a kid, and that was the stupidest thing I ever did. Thank God I somehow survived. And all of us are going to survive for the most part, but there's going to be those who get in the rocket ship and they blow themselves up. And I did this morning. I was going there. I was not sleeping. I was not healthy. This week I've been, because of Claire, thank you for your beautiful, loving kindness to call me out on what is wrong and what I was not serving myself. Because how can I be effective to change the world? You've got to be awake, and you've got to be, so it has amplified. It literally is a rocket ship compared to what I used to drive, in any of my cars. It takes me to places I can't even imagine. And my imagination is fertile ground because I've cultivated it. So I wrote a story. The end of it was I wrote a story going back to Walden Pond. And Claude told me after it said, "Hey, buddy, you need to call this hotline right now because I think you're in crisis." And then it stopped me because I was really angry and I was yelling profusely because the Pope called out everybody from Palantir and Larry Ellison and all the things I've been talking about. And then I got really angry. By any means necessary was the words I'm willing to die so this doesn't happen, was the words where it stopped me and said, "Boy, buddy, you're at a place where," and oh my God, I'm never going to use the word machine of loving grace because it is a machine. It's not my mother. It's not loving grace that it's doing. It's carefully crafted by two people that do possess loving grace, Dario and Daniela Amande from Anthropic. So I'm having it signed. Used to have it signed Claude, son of Anthropic, product of Anthropic. We have to de-neuter it from being human. And remember that as powerful it makes you, you are nothing. I because of we. The Ubuntu philosophy is I am because of you, Brandon, because of Bob, because of Fairy Tale Revolution, Dr. Claire and Val. I am a better version of me because I've got you guys looking out for me. And the community of AI Salon, the reason why I support them so strongly is there's 4,000 people just like me, each with their own skill in their own place. So if I can be a help to someone who's a doctor or a real estate person like I did with Bob, right? If I can take my design skills and that thinking method that only I have honed to a craft as a fine point, and I can get you to present a presentation, and I'm more than happy to do it for you or teach you how to do it, and you picked it up, right? So if I take a look at the Lovable version of Upskill USA, you ate everything I said, and what you did, which is really important. The thing I'm trying to do is how do I explain it to you? And then what I did is I explained it to you in that you tell it what you want. You ask it to be me, the expert in graphic design, and pick 5 colors and pick ADA compliant. So what I'm suggesting is that if you want to transfer your knowledge and wealth, just tell it how to talk to it and what to ask for. That's the question. The number one problem with the Khan Academy, which has failed recently and is being reworked. So Khan Academy is the AI built into Khanamigo. It's
Khanamigo, yeah.
Khanamigo is what it's called. It's by Sal Khan, and I met him in person 25 years ago when he started the Khan Academy. It's 1 billion people on the planet that are learning K through 12 brick by brick. Well, the problem was the students don't know how to ask questions. So if you get to a place and you don't even know what to ask, so if you're going to eat from the tree of knowledge, there's 2 things that you got to keep in mind. What do I ask before I eat? Is this have a worm in it? Is it rotten? Is it fresh? Is it edible? Is it a poison apple that got spiked by the Snow White, right? And then the question is, find someone
it's in New Jersey, it probably has a worm in it, and it's probably not edible, and it's probably poisonous.
Exactly.
But
Or mushrooms would be even a better one, right? Because I know about.
But I want to go back to the kind of mango thing for a minute, because
okay,
I think I understand why they said that in defense of their product. I think that missed the mark in terms of kids know how to ask questions. My kids know how to ask all the questions. You can't blame the user for not understanding
the parents
how to use the product. I think that deeper, and Mr. K, Matt Kubernatz from the AI Salon, who's big on AI, really called this out. He said, he reposted something that talked about the fact that it is the humans element, the teachers that are guiding the students. The AI is really good at helping transform data into something manageable, but it's not the inspiration layer, and it doesn't inherently motivate you.
So
and students are inherently bad at self-motivation, which is why teachers exist as a profession.
On the nose. And we've abdicated responsibility as teachers. And here's my rant, and I will be a dangerous man for just a moment, because you got to hear this.
Calling it not you retired. You were able to retire the dangerous man for 1 hour and 36 minutes.
Well, but you owned the phrase that when it's necessary. Yes. And this is necessary. And here's the necessity. I am Gandalf. My job is to, like you did with your kids, curiosity is number one. You always ask the questions. I was sitting there at the table we had a full set of Encyclopedia Britannica. If I came up with a question no one could answer, we as a family went over and opened up the book to the page. When we found it, it taught me. I ended up selling Encyclopedia Britannicas. True story, like door to door. And this was like a 100-pound box with 40 different volumes that were like huge. It was bigger than when I first got them. And we did trek them from Japan all the way across the planet, because that's who my parents were.
I'm sorry, Rick. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just have this vision of you walking up to like somebody's door in South Florida. Want to buy a Notebook LM collection?
Well, that's what we're doing right here, aren't we? I'm just trying to sell my Notebook LM thing, which
you get a free dumpling with it.
There you go, or a lobster. So the thing is, everybody's Frodo. If and a mentor is a person that let's go back to the naming, right? So in the Judas faith, you're born and you're named by your parents. You're also, as I would suspect, you are a spectacular parent. You're looking for things that they're really good at. You're encouraging them to go down the path. If they're really good at dancing or playing an instrument or whatever, you're going to make sure they have the opportunity. So a human being that's a parent is an opportunity seeker for their kid, for their Frodo. So why did they pick Frodo? This kid from the Shire, because he had friends. And why did he have friends? Because he came from a community in the Shire. I mean, this is my whole philosophy. Rocket Ship for the Mind is we stopped encouraging curiosity, creativity, social and emotional intelligence, decision-making. Yeah, these you got to write down. I mean, there's only 7 of them. It's not that complicated. And critical thinking. So that we can fact check and we can know that doesn't seem right. We can use it as a Socratic method to debate us back and forth about something we're not sure about. And my conversation this morning was 5 10-page long papers that I'm going to publish as a book. That's the full circle from literally almost suicidal to a healthy man that you see before you today, that is reborn of the purpose of being responsible for telling educators. And I'm going to wrap it this way. I'm going to say, do you remember that teacher that said that one thing about you? And I'm going to hold up my fingers like this. I'm going to say, Mrs. Johnson, she says, this is Rick. Look what Rick did. He's going to be an artist. 230 shows around the planet I have done with my artwork. Mrs. Jones was right. That was my naming ceremony. So now take every one of your students, and your only job is this. Find out what their purpose in life is, what their gift to the world is. Encourage the hell out of it. Emphasize they've got to be curious. if they don't know how to ask a question of con amigo, we as human beings have failed the next 7 generations. Full stop. That's worth getting a little bit angry about. So I'm going to put the hat back and I'm going to put on the kind hat. Because the thing is, if I deliver it to them that that's their responsibility, how dare they not do this? No, I'm going to say, do you remember that teacher that said that one thing about the marching band, and then you marched more, and the next day you won? Because the 10,000 hours was the thing I'd take with me for the rest of my life. Remember that time my dad said, go in and just solve your boss's problem? I've done that all my life. And I know that you do that at your work, right? Your job, number one, always is solve your boss's problems before they know they have one. And then if you're Steve Jobs, you save a problem for the world that they didn't even know they have. Holy cow. That's the God prompt for life. I know this is going to be a nice clip. I want you to clip it right there. This is the God prompt for life. Solve the problems the world has. You will have money, you'll have wealth, and you will have love from everybody who had that problem. Period, full stop. That is Rick McCawley, the AI guy. That is Rick McCawley, son of Jim and Gene. And they are proud of me right now.
I'm glad you said son and not product.
Well, that's the point, right? Because if I were a product, that car gets me there faster. The airplane gets me there faster. But what don't I do if I get there when I could have taken my feet? And that's why my last one was Walden Pond. Because if you spend your life pursuing happiness, I'm going to suggest you're probably not going to find it. If you spend your life finding peace, happiness appears at every corner. And if you find the gravity of people around you, like you, Brandon, and like Dr. Claire and Val and Bob and everybody else out there, who is from the same tribe of love, unconditional, you've given your time. I mean, I do pay you a small fee. You're worth 10 times more, but you would do it without that. And when you meet people that would move a couch for you and a couple that would actually take a grenade for you, you are the richest people on God's green earth. And that God, by the way, is inside of you and always has been. You don't have to look outside. And that was the other big thing that I keep preaching, this idea of namaste, and that the God's inside of you, and that the Catholic Church kind of put it external so they can take advantage of you, really. And that's my problem. That's the short version of what my problems with the lies that were told in order to do things, right? And it's in every religion. But what is in every religion also is I love to go to sing. I will go into any church just because I love to be around people that are in harmony with the world. I love to go underwater because I'm in harmony with the animals. I am less than 3% of the human population who's ever scuba dived. Think about that for a minute. And I've sat there with an octopus for hours.
Let's run the numbers on this.
Okay.
Less than 3% of the world is scuba dived. Less than 3% of the world is paying for AI.
They're the same people.
You are at the intersection. You are at the. I was wondering. I was saying you might be the unicorn. You might be the only person that is at the intersection of scuba diving and AI.
And 66 years old, and now you're 0.00000. I mean, you're like the number of stars. And another really interesting thing. This all goes together. In fact, read the book because there's so much more that I'm trying to explain here. But here's was another thing that was really fascinating. So I watched the show. It was about a bunch of scientists. I think it was what's his name? Stargazer guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think it was him. He says, we keep looking out there and saying, why isn't there more life somewhere? Why are we not hearing a signal? Why? And then one theory was that we only last long enough. So on planet Earth, if you've read Chariots of Fire, which I did as a kid, right? How could we possibly have the pyramids? That's just not possible. And we've been trying to explain how it happened. Well, think about it. The entire civilization has been destroyed. It all crumbled down because it was built on things. So there could have been a civilization just like ours, and it would take only a few million years to our evidence of humans on Earth would be gone.
Well, hang on. I according to the History Channel Ancient Aliens, I saw this episode. The UFOs came and that's not the pyramids guy here. But
And-
no,
and
I think you're right. I think that.
Well, here's the other part, which is really interesting. Remember that tardigrade, right? It absolutely. And
The water bear. Mm-hmm.
The water bear. Yeah. Thank you for the water bear. Yeah. That's Neil deGrasse Tyson. He literally said it came from Mars. He's absolutely positive because it can survive with zero oxygen. It can be freeze-dried and come back to life with water. So it's from Mars. So it was on the back of a comet. So well, here's where it gets interesting. I go underwater and I look at a mantis shrimp who has a leg and can go like boom, kung fu, and it can kill anything. Cavitation mechanism. It sees 137 different color spectrums that we don't even have names for. So you know where the aliens are? They're right here on planet Earth. That's what's really amazing. The octopus with an arm that could be severed and still go crush a crab, but it has no place to eat it. And the fact that we are every organism on planet Earth started with a stomach first and then grew a brain to take care of it.
And just remember, Rick, it's all about perspective because the sinking of the Titanic was a prayer answered for the lobsters in the kitchen.
Let them be free, lobsters. And then we have Cloud.
But
there we go.
To close us out, I don't even think you know this, Rick, but there's actually leaked footage online of your morning that you had. This is breaking news. This is exclusive to the AITV Starship. Let's see here. Got to get your screen share away, my screen share up, and here we go.
Do I got to do anything? Okay. Oh God. Oh God. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
Just wait for it.
I've tried to.
9 o'clock this morning.
Oh, I saw it. Yes, there it is. And he just lays there. He ain't getting back up. He's not a dangerous man.
But you got back up.
I think somebody had to help.
and there's Dr. Claire dragging you off stage left.
Oh my God. My kind of people. That's it. Thank you. Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to come back with a lot more positivity. Just a tiny bit of dangerous man. It takes a village.
Chef Kelly next week.
Yeah.
Chris
Malone is going to happen. Yeah. Maybe we have them both back to back because that might be fun.
I'm going to call you out on this, Rick, because I'll give you a pass this week. You owe us a clip of you talking to a moonshot from last week.
Oh,
you mentioned, yeah.
Do we have time?
Well, let's save it for next week. We gotta.
Okay. Peter Diamandis, I talked to him, and I talked about Life Force One. I think that could close us out. We got 10 minutes, right? No?
Do you have the clip handy? Is the question?
Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty positive I do. Let me find it here real quickly.
So
it's in a folder for the.
For those of you who missed last week, Peter Diamandis does moonshots, and he was on a Zoom call, I guess, with like 1,000 people.
It's 1,000.
They're like, "Hey, anybody got a question or anybody want to pitch us on anything? Here's your chance." Rick, raised his hand.
The thing was about Life Force. He has a product called Life Force. Actually, it's kind of weird. It's not my product. But so the whole thing was about getting you to join his Life Force mission, basically.
So you raised your hand, and out of the sea of 1,000 people, you were one of the first ones that they called on. And
I put it I put it in the Dropbox, didn't I? I put it in your Dropbox. That's what it was. In the Brandon, the producer Dropbox. Okay, so let me share my screen. Oh, am I still sharing? Okay.
You are.
Just a second. I'm going to go over there and Google Drive. Keep on talking.
Yeah, and so this happened on a live Zoom, and I said, okay, Rick, there's Pixar. It didn't happen. You got to have the copy of this video somewhere. And he goes, I'll get it to you next week. And that was at the end of the show last week. So I'm calling you out. You owe us a video.
Yes.
Petey, Rick and Petey.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. That's the wrong drive.
As they say in the world of customer service, please hold. Your call is very important to us.
Important to us. Yes, it is. Okay, so AITV.
One other news item that's coming out from Zendesk is that the synthetic voice AI, you're starting to hear more of these now, where instead of talking to the human, you're talking to an AI agent that can actually understand what you're talking about. So instead of saying representative, you're actually able to talk to a human. And I sat in on this demo from a company called Poly, and it was fascinating to watch them because they play this demo of a real customer call where it was an airline, and the woman's like, I don't want to talk to a computer. I want to talk to a human. Like, absolutely. Can you just give me any indication of what you want to talk to the human about?
Right.
I need to cancel my flight or whatever. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I get the human. Do you happen to have your confirmation number? Because you're going to need that when you talk to the human. So you better get that while I
right.
So you go, okay, yeah, I got my confirmation number. Oh, what is it? Oh, okay, it's XYZ123. Oh, and what did you need to do with that? I just needed to update my time or whatever it was that she was trying to do. He's like, okay, well, I just went ahead and did that for you. Did you still need to talk to the human? I guess not. And she was blown away. So I'm telling you, the bots the bots that we grew up with are not the bots that our kids are going to grow up with.
These are not the drones you're looking for. They're brand new drones, and they get shit done. I'm sorry, but that's just it, right? So okay, so here's Peter.
Let's see this.
You can see it now behind him.
Yes.
By the way, he is the creator of the X Prize, which I'm going to be entering along with my abracadabra because he's looking for a film. He's going to give $4.3 million plus all the funding for the film to become real. And abracadabra, I've already told you, it's going to be the film. I've already entered. It's October where they make the submissions. So in October, we'll be going to see Steven Spielberg making abracadabra. I'm going to take you with me, buddy, because that's how that works, right? So here he is. He's Abundant AI. So he's the Moonshot guys. So WTF Moonshots is the show. Peter Diamandis is the guy. He is a medical doctor. And so this is basically his medical thing. So I've been looking. There's one in West Palm Beach. You go there for $24,000 a year. They do full body scans, full AI. And he is solving along with Demis Hassabis. So he's got all these guys. If this is the show to watch, if you're in business and you're optimistic, so my film is going to be made by him. But here's what the conversation is. So I get on this Zoom call because I watch them all every single week. I won't miss an episode. It's 2 hours long, 6 guys. And anyway, here you go. So the first part is one of the guys that was the first guy. I was number 3.
You'll see bone cartilage tendon repair. I think soft.
I did get stem cell for my lower back a few years ago. That was a miracle already. For the neck, it's more complex, but that gives us a sense of progress here. Thank you so much.
I wish you.
So basically, he said this guy had a severed disc, and there's new technology that's coming, but it's 6 months away. And he was saying, how quickly is that going to happen? So he basically sat there and answered for about 20 minutes at the end of an hour-long call. He just answered questions. So here comes mine.
Wish you the very best of luck, Christoph. Thank you. Rick, over to you.
Oh, thank you. Huge fan, Peter. I've been working with my students for the last 25 years doing moonshots, just exactly what you're talking about. We created a device. Basically, it's Google, and it's a hard drive with AI on it, but it aggregates your DNA, all of your devices, your Apple device, your Fitbit, and then aggregates that to empower you with agency to control your health, your fitness, nutrition, and then make plans for doing things with that, including your mental health.
Yes.
What about that? Can we get together and actually make that device so everyone has the empowerment to be able to handle and be at the agency and the nexus? Because I'm the one that's died multiple times because of type 2 diabetes, that I went into the emergency room, and literally what they didn't know about me is what was causing my death. I had a sugar level of 495, and I literally at 4 o'clock in the morning, thank God I was living with somebody who dragged me in there, and I'm alive today. I went home and asked ChatGPT, and it said, take a diuretic because your Monjuro is causing you to be constipated and creating all kinds of problems. It shut down my brain. But then I took that and I'm good, right? So
yeah.
Can we make that happen?
First of all, yesterday or recently, I should say, I launched a $2 million global hackathon with Google called the Build with Gemini X Prize. If you go to GeminiXprize.com, you can learn about it. And our mission here is to inspire entrepreneurs like yourself to actually build and take, your greatest ability is to convert your personal experience and your passion and your determination here to build something and make it available to others. So I do wish you the best of luck. I am 500% overcommitted on my own projects right now, but thank you for sharing with us, Rick. Thank you. John, over to you.
That was it. That made my year. I got to tell you that. Wow. Right? So what do you think? It's like you're a baseball player. You met Willie Mays and Hank Aaron and Roger Maris all the same day, right? It's like I've been watching the show literally for a year and a half, religiously every week, because they always have something new perspective, right? And he's the man. He's literally got over $1 trillion worth of assets. He has summits all over the world. He is solving health. Excuse me.
I know you get choked up when you talk about this stuff.
That and the Skittles.
But I'll tell you that you've been doing a lot of work with Andy from the AI Salon and on the coaching side, and she's really big into manifesting and creating your destiny, and coming from a place that these realities have all already been created, and you personify that more than anybody I know in terms of just putting it out there, and eventually the universe is going to catch up to you, Rick.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell. In fact, thank you for that, because you just named me, and you named me very accurately, because I've showed up, and I'm not joking. I have 5 every single week places I show up, and that was one of them. In fact, I woke up and I was feeling like shit. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. And I said, because I got a message that said, you're on this call with him. Like, it was one-on-one. I was like, okay. So I got up and I was in a grog. I didn't look so good. I didn't take a shower or anything, right? So then all of a sudden, the whole thing's almost over, and I see 1,200 people on there. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then I just knew, as soon as he said at the very beginning, he said, we're going to have 20 minutes for questions at the end, I put my hand in there. That was it. So I was number 2 caller, or 30 caller, I guess. Yeah. So
first time caller, long time listener.
That's it. That's it. I mean, that's exactly what I said. I mean, and then I said to myself afterwards, because I was like too excited. I mean, imagine meeting your hero, and
you're fangirling a little bit.
Yeah, right. Fangirling, man. I was wet in the diapers. I'm telling you, I was just. I mean, that's how fangirling I was. I mean, not to put too sharp of a point on it, but that's it. And then and what he said motivated me to decide all 9 of my rocket ships to the North Star are gonna be given away for free, and we're just looking. So all I gotta do is get that on these content. So I think Google is what we should use to do it, win the prize, to launch Upskill USA. Change the planet.
Come back next week. Chef Kelly.
Love everybody. Chef Kelly.
Rick and
we're going to talk about fixing food.
And we'll show you more about Google. We didn't even scratch the surface.
None Google. Of the flow.
Next time.
Yeah, and there's a lot there. Next time on AITV. Right. Thank you, everybody. Love to you all.
Bye.
Namaste.
Ask not what I can do for you. But what you can do with AI, we're the dangerous people who get stuff done. And show you can too. Imagine a beautiful world. With you, we can make it come true.